Hey guys, welcome back to the Struggleville YouTube channel. A couple weeks ago actually, I had a subscriber ask about using the product details of a eBay item. Typically when you use a UPC number, UPC code, you'll have the option of adding the product information to the listing, and by default that box is checked. I have one of my favorite movies pulled up, Bad Santa, and you can see by default it is checked, include product detail in the listing, and we can see details. So this goes basically to the top of your listing before anything you put in your description, and it has a little, usually a review or some sort of synopsis of what the movie is about. It might have some of the actors or whatever. It has all the information about the movie. And the subscriber was basically asking if they didn't like it on their listing. They thought it kind of cluttered it up, and it didn't look as nice when they had their own template. They might do their own videos or have a different type of description that they wanted to include, and wanted my opinion, or if I knew for a fact, either way, if that is a detriment to their listing at all. And I've done a little bit of research on it, and as far as I'm concerned, there's three things you're looking at on if you should use the product details given by eBay or not. And the first thing you're looking at is, oh, my phone rings. Hold on. Sorry, this is what I get for trying to do things while at work. So the first thing you're looking at is the looks of the listing. Do you not like having that at the top? Do you think it clutters up the page? Do you think it's just not useful information? The second thing you want to look at, or we want to look at to find out, is, are the terms within the product details searchable? Is it something that can be searched for on eBay? Because if you can search for those terms, then you definitely want them included, because you never know what someone might search, and that's just, free keywords that could be in your listing. So you want to know, is it searchable or not? And the last thing is, does it affect your search rank? Does it affect your listing in Cassini or not? Because if it does, then you definitely want to include it also. But first I want to look at, are the terms searchable? Because it's something we can find out fairly easily. So I have Bad Santa pulled up in a search. You see, all I do is type Bad Santa, and we looked at this listing. So let's look at this listing. And you can see this person used the product details in their listing. So one easy way to see, is this information here searchable? Will someone typing in something that is included in this come up in a search result? So let's just pick something. Hard to change Stokes's evil ways, whatever that means. We're going to copy that. We're going to do an advanced search. Enter the keywords. Take out our little space in the front. We want exact words, exact order. Now, obviously, no one's actually going to search for this specifically, but I just want to know, does it come up, does it not? Obviously, it's not going to just be in someone's title, so we are checking the title and the description. And as you can see, 205 things come up. And they're probably going to be all the Bad Santa, because there's no other reason. No one's going to type that in otherwise. So it is searchable. Everything that is in that box can come up in a search result. So let's say someone's looking for a publisher or a publication date, even like Bad Santa from 2005 or whenever the hell. Oh, it says 2004 there. Okay, so 2004. It's something searchable, so you really should. That's one reason that you should include it. Another thing we were talking about is the looks of the listing. You may not like having this information on your listing. Maybe you just don't like that this clutters up the top half of the listing, but there's other things you can do to make your listing stand out. The problem with a lot of these, and this guy changed his, but a lot of these, you put in the UPC and it gives you a default picture. It gives you like the stock photo, and it'll give you even a stock title, which this guy probably used the stock title. I don't imagine he changed it much or didn't change it at all from what eBay gave him. And the problem with that is you get lost in the shuffle. If your picture's the stock picture, if your title's the stock title, just because it's the default doesn't mean it's the best. But when people are scanning through things, they're just seeing the same picture over and over again. They're seeing the same title over and over again. So really then it just becomes down to they're looking at price, because everything else is the same with all of the items listed. But if you can make your item stand out, if you can catch someone's attention, then it's worth it. And for some DVDs, like this sold for $1.61, so maybe it's not worth your time to be sitting there taking a bunch of pictures of it. But it's all up to you on how you value your time. But it is searchable, and there are other ways to improve the looks of your listing, and this one is actually a good example, because as you see, once you get past the detailed item information, this person has their store categories. They have a little banner at the top. They have this background picture, wherever all this information is, but it's something extra. It differentiates it from this up here. Let me see if I can find one. If someone just used text and didn't do anything else, you can kind of get lost. Like this person didn't add anything at all to it. And maybe that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but I want to find someone who just used regular text and didn't do anything else. I'm thinking it could just blend in. You wouldn't know where the eBay information started and the next one stopped. But anyways, that's all I was thinking about. So the last thing is, does it affect the search rank? And that is one thing I simply couldn't find out, because it's like 99% of people use this detailed item information. As I was trying different movies, different types of games, it seemed just about everybody included this information in their listings. So it was really hard, even when I would come across one that didn't have that information, that left that information out, it wasn't enough. There's too many factors that could have caused it to be higher or lower in the search rank. Just the detailed information wasn't enough. If it was a 50-50 split between people who used the product details, and people that didn't, it'd be easier to see, who tended to be higher in search rank and who was lower. But it seems like, especially with it being the default option, and maybe some people not even noticing that the checkbox is there, not knowing that it's an option, just everybody seems to use it. So because of that, I would recommend you use it. And when you're typing in UPC codes, I would recommend you change the title. You make your own title. Like you can see this one here, the person just put Bad Santa DVD 2004. And of course, when you're typing in Bad Santa, which maybe most of the people looking for this movie are doing, it comes up. But you could certainly make it bigger, better, make it longer, make it more full of keywords without spamming at all. And that's what the Cassini titles are all about. You don't want unnecessary words, but you do want to be as descriptive as possible, especially since they're giving you the character space to do that. So if you're worried about making your listing stand out when you're using UPC codes, just change the title, change the picture. But since that information is searchable, I would recommend keeping it in there. I mean, let's see if you type in the Bad News Bears. Let's see if Bad Santa comes up when you type this. It might be tons of Bad News Bears stuff, but let's just, for sake of, that's not going to work there. That's another thing. Anything in there is only going to show up when you do title and description. So that makes it kind of a minute point, actually, because, let's see, we're doing exact words, exact order. Most people aren't going to do this title and description search, but you hate to even lose out on any of the buyers that just aren't. Hey, that is not what I was looking for. So Bad Santa came up. This one was at the third, fourth, fourth listing. So, but just to further go with that, if you just type it into the title, what does this have to do with Bad News Bears? Sorry. I'm gonna have to cut that out. What? I didn't expect any. Actually, I'm not gonna cut that out, but Jesus. Alright, anyways, guys. Maybe not a whole lot of people would be searching with the advanced tool, but maybe some do, and you don't want to miss out on any buyers at all. And your attention getter is at this page when you're looking at the pictures, when you're looking at the titles. Once people get to your description, I'm sure most will scroll right through that if they've seen it before, or it might have information they're actually interested in, and they will they'll read it, and it'll just be more information for them. So I would recommend using the product details. Anyways, guys, hope this video helped you. Hope you enjoyed it. I am going to try and do some more videos. I know I've been slacking a little bit lately. Make sure to give the video a like, leave comments below. If you have any questions regarding eBay, best practices, Cassini, anything like that, go ahead and leave that below, or you can send me a message. You can send me an email, pj@struggleville.net, which reminds me, check out my website, struggleville.net. Thanks, guys.